he was a fearless, he was a fearless performer. Jackie Gleason was a big fat man who was not afraid to move his body around the stage. It's the same thing with Lucille Ball. Lucille Ball was really a beautiful woman who was not afraid to blacken her teeth and look like a clown and look like a hobo. And you have to get out of your comfort zone if you're going to be a performer. And Gleason, he used that big fat body as he danced and he twirled and he was hysterical. And
exactly.
And same thing with Lucille Ball, where she was.
Lucille Ball is
woman, and
she's my idol.
Yeah,
I've got an original painting of her over my bed.
This is why Charlize Theron. That's why Charlize Theron, I think, more than anything, impressed everybody, because Charlize Theron is a beautiful woman who consciously took the role of a very ugly, psychopathic.
I'll never forget that. How did she do that? It was an amazing transformation when she became that
great actress.
Wow, that was unbelievable. And she should hang her hat on that. I remember when Lucy was doing that play and she was a gypsy and she would go, "I am the queen of the gypsies," and she just looked horrid. And she would say,
That's right. I was just thinking of that.
This marriage can never take place because it means nothing but tragedy for everyone. And Ethel was the pretty one, and she would, and the ladies would out-sing her. The old ladies, she would go, "I took an eye of a newt," and they'd all sing, and she'd go, "It's my song."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh my God, that was funny. Of course, a lot of that was the writing.
Oh yeah.
And Desi Arnaz knew. Desi Arnaz used to say, if we lose her, she tripped over a cable one day on the set, and he said to somebody, amigo, because he called everybody amigo, he said, if we lose her, we lose the whole show. He knew that she was it.
Well, so did Sonny. Knew that Cher. Sonny knew that Cher was the entire, Sonny and Cher conglomerate, and Cher was, even though she was.
She was the empire.
Exactly.
She won an Oscar. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of hers. I love what they said about her. She was on TV pitching some hair care product on like QVC, right? And someone said to her management, "Oh my God, what's wrong with her? She's an Academy Award winner, and she's on the QVC." And they simply said,
I was just in Vegas, she sold out in Vegas, and those tickets are not cheap at all.
Really?
Yeah.
When was that? Recently?
That was 3 weeks ago. I just got back into Chicago.
No shit. Is that seriously? Wow.
I mean, she's selling the biggest, like $300 start seats.
Wow. Cool.
What theater was that?
I don't know. I didn't get a chance to see it. I just know I saw the billboards as I was getting from the aircraft. It's amazing. She still sounds phenomenal.
I wonder if she has her own theater. Everyone's building their own stages now. Like Cirque du Soleil has their own stage there, and I think they were taking the cue from Branson, Missouri, that had all of those theaters, and Vegas is getting in on the act now.
Dollywood.
It's not.
It's in Branson. It's right there by Eureka Springs. Yeah, it's
and
right
you
there.
won't. The ironic thing is, you can't see it from the road. Once you pull in, then you see this grandiose entrance, and it's pretty fantastic. And she's always there. I think that's so cool.
Oh, seriously. So now, is it an amusement park? Is it like?
Been see videotapes and clips of her childhood. Absolutely. Seems like the most approachable person.
Trip.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great
trip.
Well,
I've heard that about country people. I just talked to a guy that I just talked to a dude who's in acoustic design, and he just got back from Nashville. I said, "So what's it like in Nashville?" He said, I said, "What are the?" He said, "The artists are great. The musicians are great. They're chill. They are regular people." He said, "The cutthroat shit is like with the engineers and behind the scenes techs." He goes, "You know how like in Hollywood you got actors?" I go, "Yeah." He says, "In Nashville it's all engineers." Grandfather, in fact, I just saw a clip of his grandfather.
Your Grand Ole Opry. Yeah, but his name is Hank III. He is the son of Hank Williams II, obviously. Bocephus had a boy, and he's as wild as a freaking March hare, and told Nashville to kiss his ass. And if you listen to, there you go.
Love it. You gotta admire anybody. I admire him keeping it interesting. Let me put it that way.
Oh, he's great.
That's why Kinky Friedman came out with Kinky Friedman came out with "Sit on My Face, Stevie Nicks," which was pretty bold for this. pretty bold for its time.
Hey, Stevie Nicks still looks damn good for however old she is. I'll tell you that.
64?
Whatever.
Yeah,
she looks
Stevie
good
Nicks
as
still
shit.
rocked it.
She's 61, I think. She's 61.
She's still great.
Anyway, what were you going to say, Steve?
I was going to ask, what kind of music does Phil Hendrie listen to?
Well, I've gotten very much into hip hop because it reflects there's an anger there that absolutely is my voice. So I love and this is going to sound really insane, but I actually like Lil Wayne.
Damn.
I like Lil Wayne. I like Kevin Gates. I like this new Kevin Gates. I like hip hop, and then I like my all-time favorite music is blues and R&B. But I also have been listening to some metal. I listen to Avenged Sevenfold. I like
my daughter's favorite band.
Avenged Sevenfold. I like Sleeping with Sirens. I like they're interesting. So I try to. There is definitely a day when I'm driving on the road and I listen to nothing but metal. And then there's definitely those days, like Kendrick Lamar is another hip-hop artist that I really like. And then there's Stevie Ray Vaughan days and Paul Butterfield and the blues band days. I'd say those are the three areas for me. Jazz, I will always love jazz. But
oh, me too.
Not any real jazz. Yeah.
I'm a drummer,
but
that's why. I just love the drums, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you something. Yeah. You play some when your show comes on and we're sitting there just listening to music and watching you kind of fiddle-faddle around and look at things like you're all in deep thought. Yeah, and I'm always saying, boy, he is as hyper as I am. You're just like you're just like hyper. I can tell that you were. That's the one sign of intelligence. No, seriously. But I was telling Victor, you play some of the most. Who picks out that music? Is that you? Some of that out? Because it's really great. That's what I'm saying.
Pick it out. Yeah, it's just. Oh, thanks. I got a lot of classic rock, obviously, in my background, but I try to. I'm such a I'm really sort of just a curmudgeonly guy. So the only way that I can keep in touch with the culture is through music, and so I listen to the edgiest shit that I can find, which is definitely hip hop.
Are you familiar with Lil Wayne's? Are you familiar with Lil Wayne's song "Drop the World"? I'm going to pick the world up and drop it on your fucking head. It's unbelievable.
I haven't heard that.
Oh, it's one of his it's one of his newest ones. I have it here on my switchboard. He says, "You take the sunshine, I'll take the rain," and he goes, "'Cause I'm going to pick the world up and I'm going to drop it on your fucking head." He's talking about the industry and things like that. But
oh yeah,
oh absolutely. Yeah. And he wrote it while he was in prison.
He definitely. Yeah. When he gets pissed off, I like that, and because I feel the same way,
Wow.
And I like for the same reasons I like. I don't know, man. Just like I said, I mentioned Kendrick Lamar there, and Kevin Gates is great, and those are the new guys that are out. But yeah, I think Lil Wayne. And when I used to say that, you see, Facebook. Debbie, you and I got to know each other on Facebook. Facebook is really kind of like white people country. If I throw a hip hop video up, I get all these assholes, just out of the woodwork, all these assholes. What the fuck is this shit? And he's a comic.
Got it. Victor just walked in. My producer goes, Lewis Black. Yeah, he gets real.
All three of us got it at the exact same time.
He always gets really, really, really mad. He does a bit about the Old Testament. He goes, you don't get to preach out of it, you Christians. But you would love him. He reminds me a lot of, I like him a lot. I check him out sometimes. Lewis Black. He's fine. I can't believe you haven't heard of him.
I will. I got to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I have to. Yeah.
When
I haven't listened. No, it's okay. No, it's all right. I just want to say I don't listen to a lot of. One of the things I don't do, and this sounds really weird, but I don't listen to comics because I don't want my point of view polluted. You know what I'm saying? It's not because I don't like them. It's not because I don't think they're funny. I think they're all brilliant and wonderful, and there's some guys I can't resist laughing at. But I try to avoid it because I don't want to be influenced by it. I just don't want to start doing somebody else's act. More to the point. I just don't want to do it. I just don't want to have someone else's point of view. And it happens. We get influenced by people. The next thing you know, you're doing their humor. You're doing something that they did. I don't like derivative shit. I try to be as original as I can, I realize it's sometimes an impossible thing. The thing that I was doing before that, is I was chumping callers. I was playing a character on the phone, and callers would call thinking it was a real person and talk to that person, talk to that character. And I did that for good, almost 16 years. And then I, went to Talk Radio Network, which was a complete fucking disaster of a company. And, really my affiliates and my caller base dried up. So I couldn't rely on that every night of having callers call in and think they're talking to a real person when they're not. I had to take those characters and let them stand on their own somehow. And so my first thing was to, I'll just, it's a morning show. There's a bunch of people sitting in the studio and they're all talking to each other. Animated show, we have an artist and we've got a bunch of characters, and right now we're doing this. I'm trying to get an animated show made. I'm trying to get an animated pilot made. Well, we'll see if it happens. If it doesn't, then certainly there's lots of places to go. But we have the youngest character. Yeah, the youngest character we have is this character named Justin McElroy, who's a teenager. He's based on my two stepsons.
No.
But we don't have really a small child,
Debbie.
I think that's a great idea. You argue with, it's like a miniature version of yourself, a younger version of
the genius.
Yeah, sorry if I didn't call in. I'm sorry I didn't call in earlier, and I didn't want you to look bad to your audience or anything, but I just don't beat up from not sleeping last night. I know, I just decided to do that, and so then I start doing a bunch of shit that I do after I get off the air. I totally tried to call you, and the lines were just jammed up, girl. So you were doing something there.
Can I ask him a real quick question while you're thinking about that? George Carlin is really big to you, isn't he?
Yes, I think he's brilliant. I wouldn't say that he's a big influence. I would say that I think he's just a smart, funny. He was a smart, funny, great man. Absolutely. I would say that the comics early on that influenced me more than ever was Lenny Bruce. When I heard Lenny Bruce for the first time, I was completely floored. And he did what I loved, which is he carried on those sort of Socratic conversations with himself on stage, and and then of course the characterizations of Jackie Gleason. And my earliest comic influence was Laurel and Hardy, because Laurel and Hardy to me were like the first method comics. They were real. They were absolutely real. They were very real, man. They were not. There was nothing about them that was stagey. There was nothing about them that was broad. They did broad humor, but they were real characters. They were real guys, and
very believable.
And as whatever. Exactly. Yeah. And a lot of pathos there, and good acting. I don't think anybody's ever going to say, "Wow, Oliver Hardy, what a great actor," but he was, and so was Stan Laurel. There were times when you could just see it. So, and then of course they knew the things that they invented, the slow burn, using the camera as an extra character to sort of bounce off of.
Very, very right. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of stuff that they did that they pioneered that I like. A lot of people were Marx Brothers. I wasn't. I was a Laurel and Hardy guy. So I don't know.
Nothing they ever did was boring or in distaste. It was just always brilliant. Always made you wanting more.
Oh yeah. And I think if you talk about the comics from the 70s, the bigger influences on me were guys like the Firesign Theater, which was Peter Berg and Dave Osborne and Phil Austin, guys like that, and then Credibility Gap, which was Harry Shearer and David L. Lander, and then National Lampoon Radio Hour, which was the Saturday Night Live guys before they went to TV. They were doing radio.
Right.
John Belushi and those guys. Yeah, and then of course Saturday Night Live. You couldn't help but be totally blown away by what they were doing.
Didn't they just change the landscape of TV?
Do what?
Oh, Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live, I can tell you because I was there. You'd be in a bar on a Saturday night at 11:15, and the bar would clear out because everybody was going home to watch Saturday Night Live. Or you'd be sitting there going, "What time is it? It's 11:20. Oh shit, Saturday Night Live." It's one of those things. Just get in the car, let's go.
Wow.
So it was every bit as important as that. The other guy that I absolutely idolized, but then of more current memory, and the guy I really idolized was John Ritter, who I think was like Mario does his podcast-a-thon, and I was over at the Acme Comedy. Well, it was just that he raises money for Smile Train, and Zach was there, you know, just rapping with Jimmy. He does 12 solid hours just talking to comics and people. And I was there early, and then Zach Galifianakis was there, and then Andy Richter and a bunch of people. It's for Smile Train, but I think he was really funny. He did not appeal to me at that age where you're watching a lot of TV and you're a kid and you're laughing your ass off at stuff. He was not one of those guys. He was like...
crazy. They've got his audition tape for Saturday Night Live for when he was in Second City. He does, of course, he goes into, I could have been a contender, I could have been Senator Corleone, Governor Corleone. He goes into all that. It's really great, and I think that's just a really waste of a life when John Belushi died.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, what are you going to do? You know, I'm sorry, I swallowed like a whole bottle of water in one gulp, so it's...
I've seen you down, is it a Dr. Pepper? What, I can't really see what you're drinking. I've seen you down a 12-ounce... Diet Pepsi, that's what it is. Mm-hmm. I drink caffeine-free Pepsi.
Yeah, I
don't need caffeine.
I gotta have something because I've been on doing this diet, and I have to have something to enjoy.
It'd be good for ratings, but don't die on the show.
Yeah, you're losing a lot of weight. What diet are you on? Do you have to jump around in the shower to get wet, or what?
No, I'm just counting calories. That's all. Just counting. I was 306 pounds. It was ridiculous. Yeah, so I just said, you know what, Henry, you're just going to start counting calories.
Well, it gets hard. It gets hard on your body. It gets hard on your knees. It gets hard on your ankle. I mean, it gets hard trying to carry, two sparkling bottles of water around with you all the time. I've never been heavy. I've never been heavy. Of course, I'm still the slim, gorgeous, tan, long legs.
The fact that you and I are so much alike, too. The fact that you and I are so much alike, and yet I was fat and you're skinny. How did that happen?
I did. I swear to God.
I know how I got fat.
How did you get fat?
I got fat eating donuts. I got fat eating hamburgers and donuts. That's how I got fat. I got fat. My girlfriend and I would go out at 4 a.m. because I get off the air late, and she was a night owl, so we're hanging around here at 4 a.m. and suddenly we go, let's go get a big box of Spud Nuts donuts. Okay. At 4 o'clock in the morning, we run down the street and
cold milk.
Big box of donuts.
Cold milk. What about Steak and Shake? Do y'all have Steak and Shake where you live? I got that tonight during my program.
We do not.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
I remember Steak and Shake in Orlando, but we don't have that. No, we've got regular old. We got local places here. We have In-N-Out Burger, and we have a surf. I live on the beach here, so we've got Daddy-O's, which is a burger place. The guy sells burgers the shape of hero sandwiches. They're long. They're fantastic, man. I love them. Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds scary.
Daddy-O, and then we have Quincy Street down here, and I like this beach because it's a good old California beach. It's not OC. It's VC. It's Ventura County, so it's pretty serious surfer country, and
well, you sound happy. You sound content. I love the view. I cannot believe you called into my show. I love you to death, and you're it as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, you're amazing, man. What an honor to have you.
Exactly.
Oh, you guys are sweet. I appreciate it very much. I mean, I hope
he's just there. No, I'm joking.
I'm a spot on the wall.
I have this dream of. I have a dream of hosting a big. I have this dream of hosting a big party in Mexico, and inviting all my favorite people in the business down there and party on the beach down around, like at the one and only Palmilla or someplace like that.
Honey, fuel the jet. Fuel the jet, baby. We might be going into Mexico.
I'm booking my flight.
You guys, you guys are close, so
absolutely, absolutely. I'll be the hot blonde.
All right. Okay. Cool. You'll be the hot blonde. I'll be the hot redhead. Anyway. And we can, if you have the app going by then, man, we can do our shows from down there because it won't matter. We can do it anywhere. I did a Drunk History 2 days ago, which is a show on Comedy Central where you get drunk and you talk about your favorite history story, and I brought a bottle of Don Julio Añejo.
I saw that.
And I drank. Did you see the picture? Yeah,
I saw it.
Well, I can't wait to see it. I'm telling you, I hope and pray that I don't look too drunk, but I got fucked up, man.
When is that going to air?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'll find out, and believe me, I'll let you guys know. I don't know when it will, but had a great time, and Derek is a good man, and it's an interesting show. It's, bringing history to the people.
I
so
love
what
it.
time is it? I think I have to feed the cat. I got to go get the cat or something.
I've got to let Gunner out. I've got a 400-pound Labrador Retriever that needs to go out and go potty. His name is Gunner. And Phil, it's been great. I can't say thank you enough. You've got our number, or you've got my number, our number here, and we know how to get in touch with you. And if I come up with anything, I'll let you know, and you come up with anything, you let Steve know. No, I'm joking.
I will. Okay.
Phil Henry, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
What an honor.
What an honor.
Thank you.
Goodbye,
Thank you.
sir. Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.